The Joe Rogan Experience.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna tell you, of all the people I've trained with, I think overall, when you put the entirety of mixed martial arts together, Masvidal might be the best.
Really?
Like his boxing is some of the best in the sport of mixed martial arts. He's not a kickboxer, but he's confident and comfortable with all the kicks. Wrestling, his wrestling is way beyond a guy who never wrestled. Like, you know, it's like he's like Division 1 level, you know, at the very least. And then his jiu-jitsu, people sleep on his jiu-jitsu, man. Masvidal is legit on the ground. The first day I went into American Top Team, we had fought each other before, and I figured, nah, this guy's horrible on the ground. We just go. But I was surprised, and this was like 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, you know? And he's day in, day out. He's a worker. Like, he's constantly working on his craft. He's constantly working to get better. Ben Askren, you know, he's got the ground. He's got the wrestling. But Masvidal's defensive wrestling is Askren to be able to, you know, maul him like he's done to everybody else.
And he's got to close that distance.
He's got to close that distance.
I mean, and on the feet, Masvidal has a giant advantage. Just giant. He's
good footwork.
Yeah.
Great hands.
But Askren has this crazy way of getting a hold of people. Even after Robbie was blasting his brains into another dimension, he still got up and was grabbing Robbie. It's like he has this ability to grab people and hold on to people. Like if you watch the Douglas Lima fight or the Koreshkov fight in Bellator, you're like, Jesus Christ. Like he ragdolls people. It's weird.
And he's hard to get away from.
Mm-hmm.
He's very hard to get away from. I remember when I first met Ben, he went to this tournament. He used to do tournaments in college just to get more pins, so he could have like the pin record. So he got the pin record for Missouri, for the University of Missouri. He would also, with other high level wrestlers, he would just like let people take him down or let people in on his legs so that he can get into these scrambles with that funk stuff that he does.
Yeah.
He asked Dean Thomas one time. He's wrestling on that same trip. He's wrestling with Dean, and he just stops everything. He's like, "Do you know how to sprawl?" Like Dean didn't even know what a sprawl was because his wrestling is so good. He was touching us and we were falling over. You know what I mean?
Wow.
His wrestling is that good.
Well, that makes it even more impressive what Jordan Burroughs did to him. When Jordan Burroughs and him had that wrestling match, like there's levels. And he said it afterwards. He put it on his Instagram. There's levels to this. And there is, because he just ran him over.
Right through him. Like power doubles and everything.
Isn't it crazy just when you think about that a guy who's the elite of the elite in wrestling is so much better than the elite in wrestling and MMA.
In MMA, yeah.
It's just so much better.
Yeah. But would he have still been able to do that the same way if Ben was only wrestling
That's
over
a big
those
question.
years?
It's hard to say because Jordan's so good.
Yeah.
He's so dominant. It's hard to say.
Are you talking about what? 2-time Olympic champion?
Yeah. And he's unbelievably explosive too. And you ever seen his workouts?
Yeah.
All plyos, drills, explosive drills, and he's just all about closing that distance with just ferocious energy. Boom!
That dude crosses that distance like it's not even there.
God damn, he's good.
Like he teleports.
I was hoping he was going to get into MMA, but it doesn't seem like he wants to.
No, I honestly, when he was still in school, so one of my buddies, Lynn Oding, he was reaching out. This is how I met Tyron. He was reaching out to Division I wrestlers for me to help me with my wrestling after the Joe Stevenson fight because I was like, I can't wrestle, right? And Jordan Burroughs was one of the guys that he reached out to, and he was just not interested in MMA at that point. He was like, I'm going to the Olympics. I'm going to wrestle. He had no interest. I don't know where that stands now because the sport is bigger. There's more money in it.
Yeah.
But he's still having so much success wrestling.
Right. And who knows how much time, if any, he's put into striking.
Yeah. But like that IQ of his as far as wrestling and that athleticism, you know he's a hard worker.
Oh, yeah. It will apply if he dedicates himself to it. But if he hasn't at all, he's so far behind the 8 ball. Like if he jumps in now with 0 striking, you know, like how long would it take before he gets to a comfortable level of striking where he can hang in there?